Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it would be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! Years ago, I worked at a pain clinic and we had to call the police maybe once every 2 months for enraged patients. Back then, laws regarding opioid prescriptions were much more lax than they are now. We had a chain of clinics owned by one doctor. Each clinic had their regular doctors, but patients were seen by the MPs and PAs, as the doctors were usually busy doing procedures, and they were called in by the MPs and PAs for consultation on treatment. Doctor owner of the chain cycled through each clinic 1 day a week. This particular day, doctor owner was at our clinic and as usual slammed his schedule full of procedures, which made our world chaotic. When an NB gets a patient that appears to have been abusing their opioids, they can make the decision to decrease their dosage. If they get irate, the NP comes out to ask for backup, which would require 1 or 2 of us to stand outside the patient room safely in case of an attack. Some patients had threatened us before to come back with a gun and demand their meds. Karen comes in and the MP is explaining she's decreasing Karen's medication to wean her off due to abuse. She begins screaming that she wants to see Dr. Owner. MP asks for backup and I stand outside her door for safety. Inside I hear Karen screaming, "Where is Dr. Owner? He'll give me my meds." The MP explains he's in procedure, but he'll come in when he's done. But that he'll probably agree with the MP's decision.
"No, you'll get him in here, now. I don't care where he is. He can't stop and come in now. You will give me my meds."
Dr. Owner is currently in a procedure with a delicate needle in somebody's spine, in what is essentially a clean room, where patients cannot wear street clothes and nurses and patients alike must wear shoe covers and industrially clean patient gowns and scrubs. Karen suddenly slams open the door to her room, screaming through the clinic,
"Where is Dr. Owner? I want my meds."
Me as I'm trying to stop her from rummaging through the halls. "Ma'am, he's in a procedure. In a clean room, you can't go in there."
"I don't care where he is. Get him here right now. He'll give me my meds."
She finds a back door to the procedure section of the clinic, which has a coded door handle so only employees can open it. She's wrenching and pulling on the door to get it open, while we are explaining he cannot stop the procedure until it's done. Finally, she stops, defeated, and marches back to her room to wait for the doctor alone. At this point, the MP has requested the police be called. Fun note, this was near the end of my shift, and my then boyfriend had my car to take it to the shop for me and was picking me up after work. Protocol is when waiting for emergency services, one person is posted at each entrance of the building because we never know where they will pull in from. I'm posted at the back near employee parking. I stand by the open door, where I see my boyfriend parked in my car outside. I wave and hold up my finger to say, "It'll be just a moment." The police roll up and my boyfriend gives me a very concerned look. I wave again, hold up my finger again and escort police inside through the back entrance, so waiting patients do not see police strolling through the lobby. They detain the screaming angry Karen and escort her off the property. She was promptly discharged from our clinic for misconduct and narcotic abuse. About 10 years ago, I was a sergeant in the US Army stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I had previously injured my back during my time in Iraq and as a result, I was able to do much less cardio, in turn gaining weight. If you know the regulations, then you know that a physical injury is not a valid reason to be overweight in the army, so obviously they started Chapter, a non-disciplinary charge paperwork. I was distressed about losing a career that I loved, and I was torn between tearing my body up to stay in and saving my body to be able to not be restricted to a wheelchair in my future. And I chose the latter, ensuring that I would be chaptered out of the army. Honorable discharge. During this process, I was very bitter about the system that kept telling me that I couldn't stay. I was also the battalion ammo NCO, yes, as an E5. The battalion ammo NCO is responsible for ordering, picking up from the ammo depot, and returning brass and unused ammunition to the ammo depot, and there is only one in each battalion. This one person must be trained in a 40-hour course to learn how to use the ordering website and given sole power over the ammo ordered. I was that one. Upon learning my battalion had a large integrated field exercise coming up, I saw my chance for revenge against the system. I deliberately did not order the ammo for about 2 weeks while I was clearing to leave the army. Nobody came asking questions, not even my first-line supervisor. I let it ride all the way up until I started terminal leave. Leave taken at the end of an enlistment. Soldier does not return to duty when the leave ends. I was back home in New York when one day I got a call from my boss. This was it. He said the sergeant major came to him and noticed I hadn't ordered any ammo for this training exercise. I confirmed. Supervisor then asked if I could get online and order from home. I told him I need to be on the government network to do so, and the closest base was 4 hours away from me. And not only that, my access to the ordering website had been revoked. This battalion exercise had been planned and coordinated with other units months in advance. Needless to say, the ammo did not get ordered, and this huge field exercise did not happen. After months and months of planning and sourcing equipment, now there was a 3-week hole in the schedule. Not sure how many reading this understand the significance of this, but it's not good. I never heard about what happened because I was long gone, but I know it couldn't have been good, and I'm sure there were some opportunists there who couldn't wait to dirtbag my name. That's okay though. To this day, I still feel like I won. Hello. For context, I'm too autistic, but I have gotten therapy for social skills, but other things can still trigger an episode. I, 20 non-binary, worked at Spirit Halloween this season, and towards the end of the season it always gets insane. So one day our store gets entirely trashed due to short staffing issues. The next day we all collectively agree as staff that we are to ask customers to pick up after themselves if caught messing something up. Now obviously we cannot catch absolutely everyone, but for the most part I was pretty much on everyone in my section. Now cue the mom, her 4 kids, and them running around. She's on the phone not paying attention to them, and the son she claims is autistic is messing with our pigs, pulling them out the wall. I catch him, and as he runs to leave them on the floor I stop him and ask him nicely but sternly to pick them up and put them back. He does, but tries to put it back in a wall and fails. I just ask them to bring them to me since it's a little difficult to stick them back in. Cue the mom rushing over, snatching the pigs out of his hand and giving them to me. He's autistic, he doesn't know any better. Then yanking him away and walking off. All of this happened in a span of a minute. In my head, I'm startled because A. I didn't see her coming since I was just around the corner. B. What does him being autistic have anything to do with cleaning up after himself? And C. Even if that's a defining factor, he looked to be around 12 or 14 years old. He should have known better to clean up after himself regardless. So I replace the bags and go tell my manager what happened, and she says alright, if I get a complaint don't worry about it. This was all towards the end of my shift, so I was gone before the lady checked out. My manager calls me about 30 minutes after I'm off to tell me that the lady had indeed complained and demanded that she get a refund for incompetent employees. My manager rolled her eyes and didn't give her one after having my back. She asked why she wasn't paying more attention to her kids if she knew she had to be in a busy costume store this close to Halloween with a special needs son. The lady was quiet after that and left grumbling. I love that manager. She was a you mess with the bull, you get the horns kind of person. And that's something I really appreciated. I work for a major ISP in sales/customer service. If you live in the US, you'll probably use this company or have definitely heard of it and how bad it is. I try my best to be helpful and as knowledgeable as possible to help people, and I'm always friendly to my customers. Often I got out of my way to help people and have even taken time on my days off, following up with higher-ups in the company making sure issues get resolved quickly and properly. People suck. I see it every day. I get people who are justifiably upset at the company and not me, so I try my best to help. Some people do not understand I am not the company. I'm just some guy who works there, trying my best for a crappy day. When people come to me and from the jump are nasty, belligerent, insulting me, or just straight up screaming at me, they are going to think they got helped when I sure as hell didn't help them at all. I had a customer come in, throw a modem on the floor as hard as possible, and scream at me because customer service said he had to return his rented modem in person since he didn't want to chip it. I returned the modem, but when I went to change the code to customer owed equipment in his account, I just hit the disconnect button instead and set the date for 3 weeks ahead. After doing it once, I decided anyone who got violent or insulted me would get shut off too. Sometime in early October, I had a customer come in fuming mad because his cable box died. It was old, maybe from 2004 or 5, so understandably it needed to be replaced. I got him a new box, answered his questions about setup, and sent him home after I explained it contained new features, streaming capabilities, and even a remote you can talk to. It didn't work out as easily as it should have. This customer didn't understand that this cable box used a different interface than his nearly 20-year-old box. Everything looks different, from the menus to the guide, it's a whole new layout. He came back livid, and I got called every name under the sun. I told him I'd have an older style box sent to him in 2 days, and that it should work the same as his old one. He said he was leaving for vacation in a week for 2 months, and that it better show up before he left. He went on and on about how he's wealthy and I'm just some piece of crap store worker who will never be able to afford to do half the things he does. Even after finishing with him, he spent 5 minutes wandering our store, just finding nasty crap to say to me while I just smiled and told him to have a nice day. After he left, I noticed his contract had just been renewed. 2 years and it's $10 per month left if you cancel. So I put a disconnect order in. I can't wait until this guy gets his service shut off and gets a bill for $230 plus his normal monthly cost of $265 and a non-returned equipment fee of $150 per cable box. He had 5 boxes. He's going to come back from vacation with no cable, no internet, no home phone, and service that will require an install to set back up again since I put a cable disconnect order in with maintenance. The estimated bill is $1,257. I marked the address as currently non-serviceable and high risk for default. It'll cost him a $250 deposit to get services set up, and it will take him weeks of back and forth just to get his address serviceable again. Luckily for me, I will no longer be working there when he gets back from his vacation and realizes what happened. We're the only ISP you can get in the area. 0 other options, and cell services is spotty at best. He's going to have to jump through endless hoops and spend all that money to ever have the internet again. And if he ever happens to read this, screw you. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.